Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating source called the American Wealth Academy. It actually reveals the highly guarded financial blueprint of the top 1%. Okay, let's dive into this.
You know, if you look around, you constantly see this Hollywood illusion of wealth, right? The sleek private jets, towering glass skyscrapers, billionaires casually adding commas to their net worth on live TV. But have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself, where do they learn how to do this? Because there is an invisible infrastructure, a completely hidden curriculum that creates and sustains this generational wealth. And trust me, it's totally separate from what the rest of us are taught.
Just think about standard education for a second. It's essentially designed to do one thing exceptionally well: train you to be an elite, highly efficient employee. You take on a mountain of student debt to learn a trade, and then you trade your finite hours on Earth for a steady, predictable paycheck. But the wealthy? They operate in a parallel universe. They're playing by a completely different set of rules based on financial engineering and structural asset protection.
Section 1. Mastering Asset Velocity. Moving beyond accumulation. So, traditional financial advice always tells us to earn, save, and accumulate, right? Well, the wealthy actually view pure accumulation as financial suicide. Seriously, they absolutely do not want their money sitting still. Just look at the stark contrast here. On one side, we have the accumulator. This is your average person saving cash in a bank account where it just slowly dies to inflation and opportunity cost. On the flip side, we have the velocity engineer. Instead of using their own money to buy assets, they use this strategy called arbitrage. Basically, they secure other people's money at a lower interest rate, invest it at a higher rate of return, and pocket the difference. To them, money is an energy current. It's definitely not a trophy to be kept locked up in a vault.
Because true wealth is really about how many productive assets you control through the system. And this isn't just some abstract theory, it's highly institutionalized. Elite programs like the American Bankers Association Wealth School don't just teach basic mutual funds. No, they explicitly train professional trust officers in fiduciary law, complex corporate structures, and international asset orchestration. The whole shebang. It is all about control.
Let's move to Section 2, the Structural Wealth Fortress, and see how this builds. The Triad of Protected Empires.
To truly graduate from this wealth academy, you've got to understand the architectural structures of the ultra-wealthy. And it really boils down to this famous quote by John D. Rockefeller: own nothing, control everything. See, for the wealthy, owning assets in your own individual name is a massive liability. Individuals can be sued, individuals pass away, and individuals pay the highest tax rates on their labor. So instead of owning things directly, they build a fortress.
The very first layer of that fortress is the corporate shield. When wealthy folks buy real estate, an exotic car, or business equity, they're definitely not signing their own name on the deed. Instead, they use a legal entity, like an LLC, often tucked away in jurisdictions like Wyoming or Delaware. Why? Well, these specific states have spent literally a century crafting laws that offer absolute anonymity and charging order protection. So if someone tries to sue the individual, the assets locked safely inside this corporate shield remain completely untouchable.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the second, even stronger layer, the irrevocable trust. This acts as a true fiduciary vault. By placing assets in here, you legally divest your ownership, making you pretty much completely judgment-proof. You're essentially creating this immortal ghost asset. To the public and the courts, you appear to own absolutely nothing. But you maintain control and direct all the benefits to your bloodline, funding your entire lifestyle while legally avoiding estate taxes.
Section 3, the tax exploit, the buy, borrow, die loop.
Most people view the American tax code as a punishment, right? But our source material impartially reveals that the top tier of financial strategists actually view it as an instruction manual. It's basically a massive list of incentives rewarding specific economic behaviors. And here is the ultimate tax strategy, the infamous buy, borrow, die loop. Let's walk through it. Step 1. Buy. You focus entirely on acquiring appreciating assets, like stocks or real estate. As they grow in value from, say, millions to hundreds of millions, you pay zero income tax because unrealized capital gains just aren't taxed. Step 2. Borrow. When you need cash to fund your lifestyle, you don't sell the assets because that would trigger capital gains taxes. Instead, you take out a non-taxable line of credit against them. Debt is not taxable income. And finally, Step 3. Die and pass the assets on.
Which brings us to the ultimate structural advantage. The step up in basis permanently erases accumulated capital gains taxes for the next generation. When heirs inherit those assets, they receive them at the current market value. This means decades of gains, which could be billions of dollars, are legally and permanently erased from the tax ledger. The children can then immediately turn around, borrow against that new, much higher valuation, and restart the entire loop without selling a single thing. It's wild.
Moving on to Section 4, Financial Literacy versus Institutional Training. Playing on the offensive.
There is a massive, very intentional divide here. Popular financial media constantly tells you to play defense, cut out your daily coffee, budget aggressively, and save slowly for 40 years. But institutional academies train people to play entirely on the offensive. When wealth hits a certain tier, usually north of $30 million, these families stop using traditional financial planners altogether. Instead, they build what's known as a family office. This is a dedicated corporate entity whose sole job is to employ full-time tax attorneys and institutional trust officers to manage their empire. They are not sweating over daily stock market fluctuations. Their conversations are centered entirely on macroeconomic positioning and cross-border tax treaties.
Section 5, Building Your Own Blueprint. Applying institutional rules to everyday finances. So, the crucial point is, you don't wait to be wealthy to build this infrastructure. You build the infrastructure so that you can become wealthy.
You might be sitting there thinking, well, this only applies to billionaires with a family office. But the secret the wealthy know is that the system runs on the exact same rules, no matter the size of the numbers. Here is how you can start acting like a velocity engineer today based on this blueprint. Number 1, stop treating your income just as a way to buy consumer goods and start converting your liquid currency into cash-flowing assets as fast as possible. Number 2, separate your identity from your business affairs. Even if it's just a tiny side hustle, establish a corporate structure like an LLC right from day one. And number 3, kill your reliance on dead cash storage and learn to safely utilize smart debt to scale your operations.
The reality is, the system is truly hidden right in plain sight. It's perfectly codified in the legal structures, the banking systems, and the tax codes of our modern economy. The only real difference between being completely trapped by the system and mastering it isn't some closed-off secret society. It simply comes down to having the knowledge and, honestly, the willingness to execute.
So, I'll leave you with this. Which rule of the Wealth Academy will you rewrite for yourself? Because once you actually understand the rules of the game, you can stop playing to lose and start engineering your victory. Thank you so much for joining me and learning through this explainer today. Take this powerful knowledge, start building your own infrastructure, and execute. We'll see you in the next one.